everybody. My name is Luke Marr, and this is Hot Mode. And today on Hot Mode, we are getting into the Paris Fashion Week Celebrity Roast and Review Part 1. Because we're going to have to do 2, because Paris is really long, and there's a lot of celebrities. So buckle up, buttercups. We're going to be talking about LV, Dior, and a couple of your other favorite brands. All right, so we're starting off with Anya Taylor-Joy, who is wearing Dior. And it is this little houndstooth cape, and I feel like Jonathan Anderson is happy to bring the cape back. I like it. I feel like it's a reference to the men's show, and then there were some capes as well in the women's. But I think that this idea of what I assume is a skirt underneath and letting the leg show is cool with the cape. I think maybe it's the shoe that I'm just not like obsessed with, or maybe I'm just not as obsessed with the idea of a cape with like not too much visible underneath. Could also just be the pose. I think it's fine, but it's not great. Next up, we have Charli XCX, who is wearing Saint Laurent. This is probably one of the more exciting looks. And I know that you're going to say, Luke, she's wearing a windbreaker and what looks like my grandmother's evening trouser. But I like it, honestly, because I think the Saint Laurent windbreaker is cool. And I think it's cool, honestly, because when you look back at like Saint Laurent from the 80s and the 90s, when the licensing of the brand was like really at its height, they were licensing a lot of things that, especially for like Saint Laurent menswear, they weren't designing too heavily, or it wasn't really going through Yves Saint Laurent himself that much. I think this is like a cool callback to that and to that idea and to like embracing that. I also think that like they're just chic looking. The blue really pops against the red, and that sort of lighter or more neon red is also quite amazing. When you pair it with that lacy pink gathered skirt short thing, it's also odd and weird, but like to me, perfectly Saint Laurent. I enjoy it. It also feels very Charli XCX. All right, I have to stop the video though because my feet are so comfy thanks to Bombas. Thank you to Bombas for sponsoring today's video and providing me with the most comfortable Sunday slippers because they both look and feel amazing. I'm telling you, it's like walking on marshmallows. Bombas is the premium basics brand that you probably know for their amazing socks with moisture-wicking fabric, targeted cushioning, and a no-slip heel with designs for all occasions. And I can happily say I'm wearing those as well. With the cold weather arriving here in New York, I need something that's going to keep my feet nice and toasty no matter what I am doing, and that's why I'm obsessed with the Sunday slippers. They've got this wonderful cozy Sherpa outside and lining that basically makes your feet feel like they're wrapped in a warm hug. Plus, the hard bottom sole means I can walk out to grab a coffee or a bagel without fear that they can't handle the unknown of the New York City sidewalks. That's a dependable slipper. I actually love my slippers so much that I even bought my boyfriend, who is a consummate Bombas sock wearer, a pair of the Nest slippers. And when I say he immediately kicked his other slippers to the side for the Nest slippers, because their terry lining and form to your feet functionality makes him feel very comfortable while he's video gaming. Plus, Bombas has a one purchased, one donated policy that has contributed to over 150 million, yes, 150 million essential clothing items having been donated. That's a lot of donations, people. And they also donate items to the people that truly need them and that are in high demand. Feel good and do good with Bombas, knowing your purchase is doing some real good. New customers get 20% off their first purchase, so just go to bombas.com and use code HOTLAMODE at checkout. And now, let's get on with the video, but just understand, I'm feeling very comfy as we're filming. Next up, we have Briney, who is wearing Saint Laurent, and this is for all the summer I turn pretty. When I say that during All of Fashion Month, that was the conversation being had, I mean, that was what people were talking about. I have not watched the show, so I have no idea, but I know that he's in it, Lola Tung is in it. That's all I got. I think that this is nice. I think that the double-breasted suit jacket honestly works. I think the matching pant, great. And I love the leather coat over top. I think that that rolled up cuff, the shirt and the blazer rolled up into the leather jacket is also like cool styling trick that I would like to incorporate. I love the tie. I would wear the tie. I would wear this. I really would. And I think that that to me oftentimes is like a mark of good menswear is would I wear it? Yeah, if I had the budget, but I would if I could. Next up, we have Emma Stone, who is wearing Louis Vuitton because she is like the poster girl for LV. I know it's also Zendaya, but like Nicolas Ghesquière, the creative director of Women's Loves Emma Stone. I think this is like fine. Again, it goes back to what I was talking about in the Milan review. If you didn't watch that, you should go watch that. But I think that it speaks to this idea of comfortability and movement to a degree. Like It's not like going to a red carpet or a gala or anything like that. Emma Stone, right in this picture, is walking from like the center of the Louvre Plaza, and she's having to walk all the cobblestones into a certain small gallery at the show. There's movement, there's walking. It's not just like a red carpet, everybody's fawning over you. Like, no, the security is there. Like, you have people all around you. The photographers are like chasing you. Whereas when you're at a red carpet for the Oscars, the Emmys, or something like that, you go to your photo call, you hit the red carpet at these spots, you stop, and the photographers, they take their pictures, and then it's kind of like you do your own thing. There's not people chasing you with cameras. I think what's important to understand is her wearing a rib knit dress. Mind you, I think it's an ugly rib knit dress. I understand wanting the sort of creasing and the excess and the flopping over of the panels. I still think it looks ugly. I also don't think that's a great color on her. Again, I'm just gonna speak as a Caucasian. Not all colors work on us. That color doesn't work. Sorry. And this is as like a pale diva. I will say the lights blow me out a little bit, but as a pale diva, certain things we should not wear. That is one. So yeah, all in all, I understand why she's wearing something maybe like a little more comfortable, but I still think it's ugly. I'm not upset at it because of the comfortability aspect. I'm upset because it's ugly. Next up, we have Felix from Stray Kids, and he is really beautiful to look at. Like, the pink hair does pop. And I think that the jacket is cool. I think it's very LV hardware leather piece. I think that there's a lot of silver and attachments and pockets and gizmos and doodads going on up there. The pant, super simple. The shoe, super simple. The bag is very cool, very futuristic. It's, again, another sort of clean, easy look. Do I think it's as fun as it could be? No. Do I think that it's fine? Sure. Next up, we have FKA Twigs, who is wearing Schiaparelli. I love this so much. And you want to know why? A, she moves in such a beautiful way. I'll talk about it. It has to be the next part 2 because I'll give you a little story. It's not anything crazy, but like it's a story, so you have to keep your eyes peeled. But I think that this is a wonderful nod to the history of Schiaparelli, but it's completely sort of shifted and changed. So the look is clearly inspired by this festoon jacket that Schiaparelli made back in the 1930s. But I think that this top version, instead of it being a jacket that's tucked into the leather trouser with the many belts, actually kind of like modernizes it, makes it a little bit more younger. Again, like just not a jacket. And also taking the idea of the colors out of the braiding element. It's not pink, but rather that sort of same gold beige color. Again, like it just works. I think it's quite chic, quite cool, quite fun, quite young. And again, is modernizing, like actually truly modernizing something that is almost 100 years old. Not many designers can do that. Next up, we have Hailey Bieber, who is wearing Saint Laurent. This is, again, a sort of different version of the Charli XCX windbreaker jacket. I bring it back to this idea, and we talked about it a little bit on the Academy Gala video. I know that this obviously was filmed after the Academy Gala video. You know, we're taking our time. I need a rest, okay? But it goes back to this idea of like color blocking and how important it is to the house of Saint Laurent. And not even just color blocking, but I guess like color play. Here it's used in a color blocking example. You have this sort of varying shades of orange. One is a more sort of pumpkin orange. The other one is a little bit more burnt, almost like ye old pumpkin pie. You know, it's not as saturated. And then you have these little hints of green in the sort of anorak zips that go on. It just, I think it slaps. Like, I think it's a great jacket. I would like to own it. It's really beautiful. And rich people looking to buy windbreakers, like, I'm going to go to Saint Laurent. And again, it sort of does nod to the history of the house, not in the obvious way, which is the fabric and the technical sort of athletic element, but it's that, again, use of a brand house DNA and signature and making it modern. I don't really mind the like pajama short with the lace bottom, although people like don't seem to be into them. Fine, to each their own. I think it works. I think it's okay. Like, you add in the stocking and the shoe, like, I'm really here for the jacket. Next up, we have Ice Spice, who's wearing Stella McCartney. It's a one shoulder ruche dress and like a beige. It's not really super cute. I don't think the shoe is great at all. It's an odd, it's a very odd, it's not her fault, but like, it's an odd shoe. The square toe, but also like bearing the actual toes underneath, to me is odd. And then the bag, it's a big bag, but like with a cocktail kind of look. Like, I don't understand it. Next up, we have Jaden Smith, who is wearing Louis Vuitton. It's this denim style, a sort of chore jacket. You can see the multiple sort of pockets. Some of the pockets and underneath the collar area, and as well as on the jeans, you can see that the monogram comes in, nods to the Marc Jacobs denim monogram that he made quite famous. Also, the handbag is weird. I don't really understand it. And not that I'm like, oh, I don't like it. I think it's more so that I don't understand what it's supposed to be. Like, it looks like something that you would make in wood shop, and then just has like a monogram leather braided handle. If there's a functionality to it and it's like a bag, that's cool. It's interesting. I don't know, like men woodworking. I still find it intriguing to a degree. Maybe a shirt underneath, I think, would have helped. It's not my favorite look. It's not also like awful. It's just there. Next up, we have Jenna Ortega, who is wearing Dior. We can see here that she's wearing a black vest. It's obviously a nod to a hussar jacket, which the hussar jacket, if you don't know, is sort of like the military ceremonial style jackets that you often see with the gold sort of braiding on them. They come originally, I believe, from either Austria or Hungary, and they're from like either the 15th or 16th centuries. And this one, instead of being like a jacket, it's rather this vest. We can also see that instead of having like gold braiding or frogging, as it's more normally called, that there's actually the embroidery is silver and the buttons on there are gold though. And then it's paired with a very frayed, sort of very short denim skirt. To me, does sort of play into what we saw in the women's collection. Those sort of denim skirts were very much so inlaid into Jonathan's Dior first women's collection. And we can also see the jacket is what is laid into quite a bit of his first menswear show. So Jenna's look to me is sort of a melding of those two pieces. I don't love it with the heel. I'll be honest. I think maybe a different shoe would have helped. I just think like a pointed stiletto is maybe not my favorite. But I actually do kind of like the mixing of the military ceremonial style with the denim skirt. I feel like it dresses it down, feels a little bit younger, which I think is also what Jonathan likes to do. And so from like the thigh up, I'm into it. It's just the thigh down. I'm not. Maybe it's the angle of this particular photo that just isn't helping, but yeah. Next up, we have Jordan Roth wearing Schiaparelli. It's just really good. Everything Jordan Roth does is really good. This gorgeous little brown plaid is really quite luscious. I love the buttons on the jacket, the fact that they're all different styles of buttons, almost like they're fished out of some sort of vintage bin and then placed onto each one as an eye. One looks like a regular sort of button. They all have different designs. One's pearlescent, like it's fun. I like the bag, I like the boot, I love the drape of the collar around the neck. It all looks good to me. Next up, we have Kylie Jenner, who's also wearing Schiaparelli. It's not my favorite scap look ever, but I will say, I actually think that this probably would sell well, if that makes sense. Again, we have to understand, like, this is not haute couture, it's ready to wear. So I feel like people do get upset with Schiaparelli collections because they're like, ready to wear, it's not as fun, it's not as exciting. And it's like, well, it's not really supposed to be as highfalutin, high concept. It usually is pretty highfalutin and high concept. It's just not as highfalutin and high concept as the haute couture shows. And this to me is something that, like, people would buy. Women would wear something like this. It might not be my favorite with the ruffle on the side, but something about the fit of it, something about the full crystallization of that fringe. I think it works. Like, it looks lovely on her, I'll be honest. So. Next up, we have Mother, Linda Evangelista. I love Linda. She's my model. I think that this suit with the thigh-high boot in black, and it has to be a real feather coat. I think it adds in that beautiful dichotomy. To me, addresses that androgyny, that idea of mixing the masculine and the feminine. That once again goes back to the history of Saint Laurent. I mean, the smoking suit defied this idea of what women could wear. And so the idea of wearing what is essentially like a le smoking with this thigh-high black boot that I assume probably does originate in the men's show. And it's not a heeled, like not a dramatic heel. It's not a raised heel. It's really rather a quite flat shoe, a flat boot of sort, which when you combine that with the thigh-high element, obviously you can attribute that to women's wear, but I'm sure that this boot is also inspired by menswear, and again, goes back to the menswear show where they showed them. I also think, again, adding in the feather coat to the suit does, again, bring in that androgyny, bring in that masculine and that feminine in origin, and twists it on its head, and yeah, I kind of love this. Next up, we have Lisa, who is wearing Louis Vuitton. I think I like this. Normally, I feel like Gear gets quite conceptual, and oftentimes it's hard to find where the concept starts and the ooh ends. It just is too much. But I think that something about the colors here, the purple on the collar, that sort of light pinkish beige, the belt, the gold knit underneath, the pink of the short. Like, in reality, it is all of these pieces aren't knit. So the fact that all the colors are quite different, except for the belt being not knit, like, it works. That purple and the gold pops against the pinkish red, and I don't know, I kind of like it. The bag I think is lovely, quite sweet, and the shoe is fine. It works. I do prefer again it from the knee up, but yeah, I'm actually like kind of into this one somehow, some way. Or I'm not as uninto it as I initially thought I would be. Next up, we have Madonna, who is wearing Saint Laurent as well. It's a moto jacket of sorts, or a moto shirt with a belt at the bottom. That makes me think it's a moto jacket, but it might be a shirt. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I think when paired with this black lace skirt and the glove and the fur shawl, it's cool. It's simple. Very Madonna. Looks like her. And it doesn't hurt my eyes, because sometimes she used to wear stuff and I'll be like, oh, what is that? And this is nice for her. Next up, we have Pamela Anderson, who is wearing Mugler. I think this is wonderful. I think that this high-waisted skirt with this very 1980s wide shoulder top tucked in is really luscious. Glitter, whatever, I don't know. It's not beaded, and I don't think it's crystal. Whatever is making it shine and shimmer looks wonderful. I think the hair is great. I think the shoe is great. Like, I think that this is fun. It feels 80s. It feels Mugler. Yet something that I'd be like, oh, you could put that on a range of people. It's not too costume. It's not too cookie crazy. It's perfectly glamorous yet referential of the decade that Mugler sort of helped to define. Next up, we have Rosé, who is wearing Saint Laurent. This is a custom little experience, and it's a nighty short, not romper, but it's kind of like a short jumpsuit, a jumpsuit, which I feel like we would call a romper. But it has a train. It's in this light blue silk with a very baby peach sort of lace trim going all throughout. And I assume that these styles are what Hailey and Charli were wearing underneath the little windbreakers, just that Rosé is not. I like this. I don't know. People were mad at me for liking this. I thought this was cute, and I thought this was cool, and I thought this was fun. I think it's kind of different. I think it's kind of wacky, kind of weird, but something about adding the train to it really sort of shifts it. And the way that it's cut on the thigh too, I sort of love how like rounded it is. I like the way that it sort of cuts in between the legs. It just, and maybe it's the blue at the very back that sort of adds in a fullness. Like, I don't know what, but something about it like does not hurt my feelings at all. So if you hate it, fine. I'm just not gonna lie to you and say that I do, because I don't. Next up, we have Sophie Turner. Listen, I love the fact that she's wearing the shit out of whatever this is. This big leafed leather jacket is crazy and weird, but I do kind of appreciate it. The fringe underneath, fine. I think my biggest issue is the skirt. It's just so like office Christmas party that when you compare it to like the rest of what's going on with the insane jacket and top, I know that it should take take itself not as seriously because there's a lot already going on, but I'm also like, maybe we just do a full send, because yeah, it feels very, this is what I got you for White Elephant. Next up, we have Teyana Taylor, who's wearing Saint Laurent. I love the color. I don't know if I love the silhouette as much. I love the colors. I think they're wonderful. I think that green is absolutely fantastic on her. I think the glove is stupendous. That blue really pops. And that purple turtleneck situation underneath, gorge. And I think she knew what to do with the hair. Because the thing is, when you wear a turtleneck, like, you don't want a long hair. So the fact that she's doing this sort of blunt bob is fantastic. And like chic and cool and elegant and wonderful and gorge. I love the shoe. I like the stocking. I think it's just maybe the pose is throwing me off and not letting me see the full silhouette of the shirt, dress, jacket thing. And that's where I'm like, But even if it's meant to be this big and boxy, I believe in Teyana Taylor. Like, I think that she knows what she's doing at pretty much every point. So I'm going to go with it, but I wish maybe the pose was different. Next up, we have Willow Smith, who is wearing Dior. It is a pajama dress, but it's like a pajama top. It's that navy blue with the white piping. And then she's wearing a Dior striped tie as the waist belt. And again, I think it's a funny play from Jonathan on menswear as women's wear, transforming a pajama piece into a full dress, to me reads very Jonathan. And she's wearing the cute shoes, the cute new little bow shoes that I think are really quite lovely and wonderful. So yeah, I think it's cool. I think it works. I'm letting him pad out his vision because he's doing both men's and women's, and I think that requires a little bit more time to let marinate. Next up, we have Zendaya. She's wearing LV. It's an odd little thing. It's clearly this like gray jacquard with floral popping throughout. You just have to look really hard and zoom in for a lot of it. And I kind of love the cuff and the collar, like that shaggy, sheepy kind of fur is wonderful and cool. I think it's the ties down the front that are odd. I think that like chrome heel is a perfect example of like he's doing his best to guide the ship. It's an odd spaceship, and so that's why you have these weirdo little ties going on and like corrupting what otherwise would have been like a risk but would have landed. But I think that the ties make you say, oh, it's hard for me to take it on and explain it all to you and say, well, like I can't do that in this moment. I can't. I'm sorry. It's just not, everything else is great. Just like chop the ties. You don't need them. And last but not least, we have Zoe Kravitz, who is wearing Saint Laurent. She is wearing a windbreaker as well. Everybody gets a windbreaker. You know what I mean? Anthony Vaccarello is the Oprah of our time, just when it comes to a windbreaker. Paired with this very butter yellow lace skirt. I think it's cute. I don't think it's as cute and as dynamic as the color blocked versions. I think those were much better, much more entertaining. The lemon shoe is like crazy and weird, and I feel like not getting enough attention, and not my favorite. So yeah, give me the other windbreakers, please. So that is the end of this video. Let's talk about best and worst. Best, I'm gonna put Hailey Bieber and Charli XCX in those jackets. I'm gonna put FKA Twigs. I'm gonna put Rosé, controversial take. Teyana Taylor, I really did like. Lisa, I will put in Linda Evangelista. Yeah, it's a lot of Saint Laurent, but I don't know. I think they nailed that celebrity dressing element. So Jordan Roth, I thought looked really good. Pamela Anderson also was really, really wonderful. As for worst, who am I gonna put? Oh, Emma Stone. I'm gonna put Zendaya just because like they really just needed to not do what they did to her. I guess Zoe Kravitz and also Sophie Turner's skirt. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, check the link in the description box below for that beautiful Bombas experience. I'm telling you, people, they are the moment. But I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and TTYL.